What if a DNA test flips your entire family history upside down? You go into it expecting to find a distant cousin in, say, France, and boom, surprise. You've got 25 siblings scattered across the country. Or better yet, you find out your dad isn't even your biological father. Sounds like something straight out of a soap opera, right? Well, for some people, it's all too real. These innocent little DNA kits are out here exposing family secrets like never before. And honestly, what they uncover can be a wild ride. Now, let's jump into the craziest, most jaw-dropping real-life stories where DNA tests didn't just show a family tree, they uncovered the kind of family drama that not even the best screenwriters could dream up. Whit Johnson's Surprise. Let's kick things off with a feel-good one. Something that seems straight out of a heartwarming family reunion show. ABC News correspondent Whit Johnson wanted to know more about his dad's roots. Pretty standard curiosity, right? But there's a twist. His dad was adopted and didn't have much info about his biological family. So Whit, being the curious guy he is, took a DNA test. No harm in filling in a few blanks, right? Wrong. Whit didn't just fill in the blanks, he uncovered a whole new chapter. Like a whole branch of the family tree nobody even knew existed. And at the heart of it, a long-lost uncle. Just imagine going to a family reunion, and suddenly it's like, oh, by the way, here's Uncle Bob. Apparently, we missed him for the last 50 years. One spit test and suddenly the whole family history is rewritten. The Vietnam identity mix-up. Next up, we've got a story that feels like it's straight out of a Cold War thriller. Imagine, this family has spent decades mourning their cousin, who they believe died in the Vietnam War. It's the kind of sad, heroic tale that gets passed down through generations. Except, decades later, a DNA test came in and just blew that whole narrative out of the water. Their cousin didn't die in the war after all. Nope! He was alive and kicking, living under a totally new identity. Can you imagine the whiplash? All those years thinking your cousin was a war hero, only to find out he's been out there living his best secret agent life. You start to wonder if he was chilling on a beach, sipping margaritas while everyone else was writing him into the family's history books. Fertility doctor's hidden legacy. Alright, this one is like a plot straight out of a dystopian novel. A woman took a DNA test just to learn a little more about her heritage. Pretty harmless, right? Wrong. What she found out instead was that her biological father wasn't who she thought. Nope, turns out it was her mom's fertility doctor. Yep, you heard that right? Plot twist of the century. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. This doctor had secretly fathered dozens of other kids using his own sperm. It's like a twisted version of Dr. Evil, except instead of world domination, he was just, creating an army of his own offspring. She didn't just find her roots, she found an entire network of half-siblings. It's like joining a secret society, except the initiation isn't as cool. It's about trust issues. 7 half-siblings reunited. Now imagine this. You grow up thinking you're an only child. Life's simple, quiet. Then bam, you take a DNA test and suddenly, surprise, you've got 7 half-siblings you never knew existed. That's exactly what happened to one person who was adopted as a baby. Not only did the test reconnect them with their biological roots, but it opened the door to a whole new family. Can you imagine? One day you're living life and the next you've got 7 sibling Zoom calls to juggle. Holiday dinners just got a lot more interesting and a lot more expensive when it comes to buying presents. Over 25 half-siblings. Do you think 7 siblings is a lot? How about 25? Yeah, one woman who knew she was conceived via sperm donation figured there might be a sibling or 2 out there. No biggie, right? But thanks to DNA testing, she found out she had over 25 half-siblings, all scattered across the country. You go from thinking you've got a cozy little family to starring in your own version of the Brady Bunch Extreme Edition. I mean, what do you even do with 25 siblings? That's basically a full football team. Imagine keeping up with everyone. Group texts must be a nightmare. Double life discovery. This next one is basically begging for its own episode on Dateline. A woman takes a DNA test and uncovers a seriously juicy family secret. Her grandfather? Turns out he had 2 families, living just blocks from each other. And the plot thickens. One of her family members wasn't just her grandfather. He was also her biological father. Might need a minute to let that one sink in. Sibling found through DNA. Here's one to tug at the heartstrings. One Reddit user took a DNA test and discovered a half-sister they never even knew existed. After years of wondering about their family history, that one test led to a reunion with their biological father and opened the door to building a whole new relationship. It's the kind of feel-good story that makes you want to call your long-lost relatives just to see what's up. Great-great-grandfather's secret. DNA isn't just out here revealing immediate family secrets. It's digging up skeletons from centuries ago. In one case, a man found out that his great-great-grandfather had ditched his family in Wales and started a whole new life in America. So, next time someone tries to tell you your family comes from a long line of heroes, just remember, some ancestors were more runaway troublemaker than heroic patriarch. LM's double life as a bootlegger. Oh, and here's a fun one. A guy named LM who lived during Prohibition wasn't just running booze. Nope, this guy had multiple marriages under different aliases. His descendants found out about his wild double life through, you guessed it, DNA tests. Imagine finding out great-grandpa was basically a bootlegger/James Bond hybrid. Family reunions just got way more interesting. Patrick's career shift. Ever heard of someone rebelling so hard that they changed their entire career? Patrick was supposed to inherit the family farm, but after marrying against his father's wishes, he got cut off from the family fortune. So what did he do? He became a chauffeur for a wealthy family. His descendants dug up this little gem through DNA tests and census records, turning their family history into something worthy of a period drama. JS's naval adventure and ancestral name. A man who decided to ditch the family farm in Denmark to join the Navy. Oh, and he wasn't even getting paid for it. Yep, free labor, just for the adventure. His DNA test also showed that he'd revived a long-lost family name that had been forgotten for centuries. So next time you think your family history is boring, just remember, a simple DNA test can turn it all around. DNA tests are like opening a box of secrets you didn't even know you had. Sure, you might find out you're related to royalty, or, that your grandfather was living a double life just a few blocks away. The real question is, are you ready for what your DNA might spill? Who knows, you might have 25 siblings waiting to be discovered.